Welcome back to The Price of Business. I'm your host, Kevin Price, talking about you and your business. I can't even talk here. Hey, you know what? I've been talking about independent publishing houses and companies involved in that space. And adding to that list, I'm going to spend some time with Alina Adams. She's with a company that she's created called Alina Adams Media. You can learn more about her at Alina, A-L-I-N-A, AdamsMedia.com. Welcome to the program. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me.
Tell us a little bit about what you do. Kind of give us your elevator speech.
Well, what Alina Adams Media does is it takes books that have been previously traditionally published and it turns them into enhanced ebooks. What does enhanced ebooks mean? It means something extra: video, audio, links. I'll give you an example. For instance, there's a book by an author called Dan Ellish. It's the Worldwide Dessert Contest, and it's a middle-grade fantasy adventure novel. Dan is also a composer who works on Broadway, and he has a musical score that goes with the story. So we produced the book and the musical score together. You can go along reading the book, and then you hit a point in the story where a song should come up. You click a link, and you listen to the music, and then you go right back into the story.
Yeah, very interesting. Very interesting. And how do you price these?
Well, it really depends on what kind of book we're doing. For instance, another series that we do is a figure skating murder mystery series. We have a deal with the Ice Theater of New York, which is a professional ice skating company, that gave us access to their entire video library. What we were able to do is take the routines performed by their skaters and integrate them with these mystery novels. There's 5 of them in a series, and each one of them retails for $2.99. So not only do you get the figure skating mystery that was originally traditionally published by Berkeley Prime Crime, you get video to go along with it. Or you could buy all 5 books together for $9.99 as one large volume.
Okay. So how are these delivered?
You buy them online. You buy them via Amazon, via Barnes & Noble, Kobo, all of those sites. They go straight to your laptop, your desktop, your phone, your iPad. Anything that gets an internet connection and can play video or audio can play one of these books.
It's fascinating. I think that's interesting. And it's a multimedia book.
Exactly. That's the whole thing. All of the books that I choose to do, for instance, I also did another cookbook called Skinny Spices, where you can actually search within the book for the ingredients that you have on hand and a recipe that comes up. Whenever I agree to work with an author or a producer to do an enhanced ebook, I always make sure there's a reason why this book should be enhanced. We don't do it just for the sake of doing it. We do it really because we think the user experience will be better.
Yeah, he's accumulated great audio or videos or something that would complement the chapters, that type of thing.
Exactly. For instance, the video footage for the skating mysteries, the original musical score for the Worldwide Dessert Contest, a searchable function for Skinny Spices. All of those things take the book as it exists and enhance it. They make it better for the user.
Interesting. So how long have you been doing this?
We've been doing this for about 4 years, and we put out a few titles a year because the learning curve for the audience about what an enhanced ebook is still relatively steep. A lot of what we're doing in our marketing is still educating the audience about what an enhanced ebook is.
Yeah. And so how does it compare to traditional ebooks and pricing? Obviously, it's subjective on the book, but kind of give us a feel for that.
It's actually very similar. For instance, with something like the Worldwide Dessert Contest, it's $9.99 because it really is something special. There's nothing out there like it. For $9.99, you also can get all 5 books in the Figure Skating Mystery Series with video to it. So while the price point is very similar to ebooks without enhancement on the market, you're getting an ebook and something else on top of that.
Yeah, that's interesting. So do you work mainly with publishers, with authors, or both? Kind of give us an idea of the various channels you work with.
I work primarily either with authors or with content providers. I am actually the publisher in this case who puts the books out, and I'm not just a publisher, I'm a producer because I put these pieces together. In the case of the Worldwide Dessert Contest, the author had gotten the rights back to his title, and he had the rights to his music, so I'm the one who produced it, put it together, and published it. The same thing with Skinny Spices. The author of the cookbooks had gotten her rights back from the publisher. With the Figure Skating Mystery Series, it was a matter of making a deal with the Ice Theater of New York. In that case, they were the content producer, but I was still the producer of the entire book and of all 5 books.
So it sounds like it could be pretty pricey to try to build this stuff.
Well, it really depends. Our philosophy always is no money up front. We don't ask for anyone to give us the money. We build it in-house. And the way that it works is the writers and the producers continue to own their content. What we own is the technology that we use to put these books together and the rights to sell them.
Okay. And so what percentage of the action does the author make?
Usually it's about 50-50. It depends on how much they bring to the table. In the case of the Figure Skating Mysteries, because they were only providing the video, it's a 25-75 split because they weren't also providing the book. The books were previously published with a different publisher, and again, the author has the rights back. So it depends. But usually if the author comes with a completed product, it's 50-50.
Now, tell me about the kind of content in there. Audio, video for multimedia. Is the vast majority of it video, or is it just depend?
Well, in the case of the Figure Skating Mystery Series, it's video of skating routines. In the case of the Worldwide Dessert Contest, it's audio of the music. In the case of Skinny Spices, it's the searchable feature that makes the enhancement. A new book that just came out last week, it's called Getting into New York City Kindergarten, because getting into New York City Kindergarten is actually harder than getting into college in most places with the number of applications. So what this book has is it has links to where you apply to public school, where you apply to private school, where you apply to charter school, links to studies about single-sex education, gifted education. In that case, the enhanced content is really just a resource of all this research and all the places you need to go in order to apply to kindergarten.
And finally, what kind of genres of books are you dealing with?
We're dealing with all sorts of things. The Figure Skating Mysteries are straight, cozy mysteries. Worldwide Dessert Contest is middle grade fantasy. Skinny Spices is a cookbook. The Getting into Kindergarten in New York City is a resource for parents. It really, again, comes down to, I ask the question, why should this book be an enhanced ebook? And then I go from there. The genre isn't as important as what we can add to it to truly make this a better experience for the reader.
Very good stuff. I appreciate your time. A good interview. Alina Adams, AlinaAdamsMedia.com, ALINA AdamsMedia.com. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks so much for having me.
When we come back, much more for you. Do want to remind you the show continues 24/7 at priceofbusiness.com. Do want to say props to our friends over there at Efficient Wealth Management for bringing us part of today's program, and chriskid.com. More after this.